Howdy ho, friends. Welcome to another episode of Trekking Tuesday. Weather conditions today. I left the Mountaineer. Just ate part of a cobweb. I left the Mountaineer, 70 degrees. High today will be in the 80s, lower 80s. Eventually, we're going to get a west wind. They're saying anywhere from 30 to 35 miles an hour. Goals today. We are roughly, I want to say, 15 miles upriver on the other side as I was on Thursday. And I'm seeing a little bit of flood damage here. I'm not exactly sure the elevation of this location, but there's not a lot. But the goal is to see if I can make it to Shelter Island, see if it's still there. And we're going to shoot a video for YouTube about my scanner here. I've got asked a couple questions about it, so actually Ken suggested the video, so we're going to try that. We'll see how it goes with the wind coming up, but I think first priority is Shelter Island, and we're at the halfway point, so we've got roughly another mile or so to hike in. If you look right about there, see it? There it goes. A whirlpool pops up. Usually underneath the river there's some debris causing one heck of an undertow. And I want to give you a heads up. You do not want to kayak or canoe into one of those on accident. I've seen them things suck entire cottonwoods down. Oh, here comes another one. And shoot them at least a quarter mile down the river. So you want to be careful of those little whirlpools. Here comes another one. Starting to see a lot more high water damage. I wouldn't say this was a total flooding, but this is interesting. The trail goes around there and starts its loop, but this whole section is new. I'm not sure what's going on. I think we'll just follow it. Not exactly sure what's going on here. I know they're doing trail maintenance out here. They've been working on it for the past 2 years now. This might be a turnaround for their tractor or something, because you can see where this has all been cut. You can see where the water has come through this area. Trees are down, all the vegetation is gone, and you can see the sand and silt mix, and some of it is still wet. Let's take a look at the creek here. Oh, there's somebody else's footprints. Somebody else has been out here. It's been a while though, but yeah, this creek is just freaking full. And honestly, well, that whole area over there, you can see where the sand and silt have been. And I don't think we're going to make it to Shelter Island today, but let's go down there and see if it still exists. I've gone about as far as we can safely go. You can see where this is getting ready to drop off into the river. So we need to be a little careful. And yeah, that's pretty darn deep down there. If you can see, Shelter Island is still there. Well, not much of it. See that big area that's been eroded out? And actually, the island used to come out here. And then you loop around and go back in that way. And if you look where that big tree is, right there, that's where my lean-to was, the bunker. So it would still be in one piece. It would survive the flood for now. We're supposed to get more. But let's look at all this right here. And we're going to carefully do this. This whole oh, hang on. I'm sinking in there. This whole section is gone. Because that used to go from there on down to here. So that's all been eroded away. My favorite mulberry tree is gone. Let's look at the creek real quick, see how high this little guy is. Normally you can pretty much walk across there. Not so much now. You can see where there's been a lot of flooding on that side because you can see the sand and silt. And we're sinking in still. Let's get off there. I think I'm going to take you up and show you where my campground used to be right there. I'm being very careful to stay behind those cracks. There. There's one there. I do not want to fall in. All right, we quit playing around there. My mulberry tree was right about in that area because this did extend out quite a bit. As you can see, it's gone. The whole area is just brand new again, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, that's not a snake. So we can, if you look there, you see the soil, the first layer of soil. It goes from there on down. That's kind of the sand silt mix. And then if you look right below that, that is all sand. And you can kind of see where that's falling off a bit. So yeah, we're basically on a big freaking sandbar right now. Then we got all the debris, the trees out there. You can see there's a hell of an undertow. There's one there, and one that's trying to suck that tree under right now, but it's just not going. Next thing we're gonna do is hop back on a trail. Then I think we're gonna cut in to one of my old camps. That's exactly what they did, because the loop is right over there. And I just buzzed around and went boop, 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 and we're back on the trail. I don't think the debris was the problem. I think it was the soil. It's just too wet. In fact, you can see who was ever out here a while back, how far they sunk in. That's about an inch. And yeah, not too bad. But we are back on the original connecting trail, and you can still see where there's a lot of flood damage, or where the floodwaters came up to. Well, let's go in a ways and see how it looks. There is a lot of freaking debris here. This is kind of sad, because the river cane shelter used to be down that way, and that was the direction I was wanting to head. I don't know if we should go down there or not.
2.3 miles.
You know what?
51 yards per minute equal to 1.7 miles per hour.
We're going to do it just to see if it was safe from the flood or not. That is going to become a mosquito amusement park, along with some snakes too when it warms up. But it flows right through here, and most of the flooding stopped right about there. And we're going to go down a little bit further, because I found where I had the river cane shelter, and it looks like it was all right. Should be right around this corner here. Okay, big cottonwood by cottonwood. Yep, I see it. We'll take the alternate route. Whoa, quickly. I'll be darned. That's a little concerning. Wonder if now it's got two trees holding it. It should be all right. But this is where the river cane shelter was, and as you can see, that sucker's leaning quite a bit. It is okay. So if it was up during the flood, it would have been safe in this area. Because, wow, you can see where the water cut out a ditch right there. Huh. Impressive. There's all the river cane. Now I need to decide what I'm going to do. Either we can set up a video here, but that, with the high wind coming on, would not be good. Here's the plan. I've been studying it, and you can see it's wedged there and wedged there, over there. I mean, if we pull it that direction, it should fall right down. As far as the cottonwoods go, yeah, we've got a 2 to 4 second warning if they're gonna fall, because they take the root system with them and they don't come down real fast. I think we're gonna go for it. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. Due to the power of editing, I should be able to cut that down into 4 minutes, maybe 3. Real time, about 30 plus. But we got it down, and it hit hard. But now we got a sitting bench, firewood for future, and I got that other one out of there just in case. And I think we're clear. Let's get our shelter set up, and I'm going to drop one of these shirts because it's starting to get a little warm out. I got myself way too comfortable. I almost fell asleep twice. I mean, look at that. Got the sitting tray, actually in the thermal rest, spread out. Got a headrest, laying there, dozing in and out. If it wasn't for the scanner popping off every couple of seconds, I would be out cold and I would get nothing done today. We've got our shelter set up. I've got that side down a little bit as a windbreak, and also when the wind blows over it, kind of helps keep it in place. Got that shirt drying because I started sweating, and that shirt drying off too. Yep, it is skin to the wind at the moment, and it is a beautiful day out. I would definitely say we've hit at least 80, definitely 80, maybe 81. Some clouds in the sky, not much. I do believe we're going to have lunch here, and there will be no fire. The wind is blowing directly at us, and it'll blow the smoke and embers into the tarp, and I don't want to put any more burn holes in her. So what's for lunch? Oh, we got the chicken with white and wild rice. This is some good stuff here. And we're going to use the stove. I might have to build a small windbreak. I don't know. We'll see. So let's get this going because I am freaking hungry. I'm going to show you what one serving looks like. That is not a lot. It's right about there. That is not a lot of food for me. I should really start carrying 2 of those. Yes, we got the roaring bubble going there. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, it should rehydrate. Let's go ahead and shut that down and let it sit and simmer and cool off for a good 9 minutes. I do not want to burn my tongue. I think it's cooled down enough to where we can take a bite. Let's see. Looks good. Still a little warm. Well, I started shooting the video for YouTube about the Uniden Bearcat 125 AT scanner. Everything went to crap in a hurry. Let me explain. Let's get out from under the shelter first. I needed a good shot of me with excellent light, so what I did is I raised up the shelter right there and right here, and as you can see, the pole falls. I'm like, are you serious? And the other pole for this one, I just went ahead and took it down. So I stumbled through the intro, got the shot, I think. I don't know. Then I went in to go ahead and start filming. Hey, there's me. Hi, guys. Filming the operations of the scanner. So I set up the cameras to start taking pictures of it. The wind comes up. Something huge falls over there. I don't know what the heck it was. Then a train came by. Not an ordinary train. I think the loudest train I've ever heard. It must have had a couple wheels locked up. So I shut everything off, took a breather, and then this is really cool though. I'm standing over here, just relaxing for a minute so I don't destroy anything. I hear something jump. Uh-oh. I got all excited for a minute, thought there was a shroom growing. Yes, it is mushroom season here in the Midwest. And this is like the perfect place for the morels to come out. But I don't know. It might have been too much flooding in the soil. Okay, anyway, the soil might be messed up. Let's go over here. Watching for snakes. Anyway, something big jumped in this bog. I don't know if there's some fish trapped in there or what's going on. I kind of wish I had a line and some hooks, and we'd throw it in there and see if we could catch something. Heck, we could have us a nice dinner. And then again, I don't know if I'd eat it. That does not look very pleasant now, does it? All right. This is decisions. I think what I'm going to do now is just put all the camera equipment away. We're going to call it, I'm going to scrap the video. I might do like a Facebook exclusive on it. Nope, nothing. Yeah, I just think there's too much silt over here from the flood. Yeah, I could be wrong. And then figure out what time it is and go from there. It's time for us to make our exodus. I checked the time. We're going to be late. It doesn't matter if I hump it or not. We're 2 miles in. If I hump it, we can be out of here in 40 minutes. But it's 20 to 6 right now. I'm supposed to be on the road at 6, and we'll make it home by 7. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So, if we're going to be late, we're going to do this. We're going to go off trail a little bit, okay? Let me explain. The trail is that way. 200 to 300 yards. Not that far. That's where the river is. We can hump there, hit the trail, be out 40 minutes. Yeah. The railroad and the creek are that way. Maybe 0.3, 0.4 miles. And the levee, we're probably a good, 0.9 miles from the levee right now. Basically, what I'm going to do is skirt around the bog, and kind of shoot down the middle. Of course, we'll keep the sun on our left for navigational purposes, and see what we can find. Okay, first we check the area. It is clean. I made sure I picked up all the trash. I'm thinking this would be a good spot for another project.
Over.
Maybe the TP and Saran Wrap project. Obviously, we won't be putting a stove in it. It's just too darn warm out. But I'm looking, and there is so much deadfall I can work with. And there's standing deadfall, like that one over there. And I've seen a couple over there. We can make some teepee poles out of it. And I'm thinking we'll only need... So my regular teepee is 9 poles. Not a big deal. We're going to need more than 9 for this one. I'm thinking at least... Oh shoot, because of the way the saran wrap's going to wrap around it, I'm thinking we're going to need at least 12 to 14 maybe. And I probably could find all the wood out here I need for that. Okay, I need to quit rambling, and we need to navigate just a little bit. So we're going to come up through there and then shoot down the high side and see what we can find. So basically what I'm doing is I'm zigzagging. I'll go towards the river until I get a good look at the tree line, and then I'll take a slight left and go towards, probably not this way is the best way to go, but now what the heck. Go towards the levee and take a slight right and just keep going back and forth and just seeing what I can find. I kind of zagged a little too far and just ran into the river. I think we're just going to hit the trail for a little bit. Sometimes I crack myself up. You can see where a ton of water's come through here. And it was in water, because see how everything is pushed down? Look at all that debris. I think, let's get over this real quick. What is that? It's Three-toed deer or chupacabra? I don't know. Oh, wow. Getting up was a little hard. Anyway, let's follow this for a while, see where it goes, shall we? There was a lot of freaking water back here. Levees right over there, 150 yards. River that way. Let's say 0.6. So there's been a lot of water up here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hop on top of the levee and take it down a little ways, and who knows, maybe we'll cut in again.
5 minutes. Distance 1.0 miles. Average speed 42 yards per minute equal to 1.4 miles per hour. Last takeover. Distance 243 yards. Average speed 49 yards per minute equal to 1.7 miles per hour.
Ah, yes, there's the Mountaineer. Guess we can probably just cut in right here. Back at the ye old Mountaineer, and I'm happy to be back because I got some ice cold water in there. Okay, first thing we're gonna do, shut off the scanner. Second thing, I don't know why I decided to turn Elizabeth on and she worked. I turned Michelle on because I need to make sure she works, because I need to take her into the winter camp with me. I need a GPS, and she did. So let's see what the difference is here. Okay, so 1 hour, 11 minutes, 27, whatever. Yeah, they're about the same. They're off by 1 minute. 1.8 miles, 1.8 miles. Elevation change here. 704. This did not read any elevation change for some reason. Interesting. Huh. Alright, average 1.4. Okay, that thing's high. 1.5, and this says 5.3 was max. I'm not sure how that happened. That's just impossible. Alright, let's pull up. What I like about Michelle is you can zoom in and get very close to your tracks. Here's us walking on a levee. Here's where I was doing the zigzags. This is where she kind of lost the GPS signal, so she was just dropping little pins. See that right there? Kind of hard to see her. Then we did another zigzag. I mean, we can totally see our tracks perfectly. You cannot zoom in that close with Elizabeth. It just doesn't pinpoint everything like it should. Alright, so we did use her on the way in, so what we're going to do is bring that up. No, I don't want to. Come on. She's getting pissy. Yes, show on map. So it's not. Okay, there's Shelter Island. That's where we came in. There it goes. It's just taking her a minute to bring up. And this is our hike in. So, then you can see where we went out to Shelter, tried to make it to Shelter Island and kind of doubled back, and then ended up at the River Cane Shelter. This one you can't really do that. Let's power this little guy down.
Monitoring stopped.
And I want to look at something real quick. Okay, so our hike in, that's going to be hard to see. If you can see that, was 2.4, it looks like. It won't focus. Alright, let's put these away for a minute.
Monitoring stopped.
Power all these down. God, it's been so long since I used this one. Yes. All right, I found another situation with the pack I found interesting. It's with the zippers, okay? You see how that is crinkled right there? If you go to zip it up, it gets in a bind. So you have to pull this up and stretch it in order to get it to zip. Now, if they would have moved zip from there more towards the edge, then reinforced it, that wouldn't be a problem. Can you see? So when this pack is all loaded down and cinched in, these zips in the bottom are kind of a pain in the butt. You have to stretch them in order to get them to work. If not, it binds up. So it's not a big deal. It's just something to pay attention to in the future. All right, let's hop in the Mountaineer and we'll close this here video out. I've done left the park. It's actually, we're about 20-30 minutes from the park. I had to take a phone call. I'm not in big trouble. I'm in a little bit of trouble. Not as bad as I thought I was going to be. Switch lanes here. But all in all, I had a great freaking day. The video for YouTube, yeah, I think I'm going to scrap that idea and maybe do a Facebook exclusive, or I do it at home on my desk in a controlled environment, and it'd be a lot easier to do. I don't know yet. We'll see. But as a personal day, I had a great freaking time. Great weather conditions. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up and haul butt and get home, because we're having pizza tonight. Fresh made pizza. And I don't want it to be cold. And plus, it looks like we got some accidents in front of me or something. Okay, that's not good. Something's going on. All right, friends. Thanks for coming along with me on my journey. And we'll see you guys on